For the first time, U.S. regulators approved the sale of chicken made from animal cells.
Historic announcement today. Good Meat and Upside Foods have both received full approval to sell cultivated meat in the United States. If you've been following this space for a while, so far Singapore has been the only country. And so super excited to see it now come into the United States. Again, we're at such early days, and so I don't expect the volumes to be very big, but like electric cars 20 years ago were not really a thing. Today, that market's growing. I'm expecting we're going to see the same thing in the next 1 to 2 decades for this food category. There are other really exciting foods, namely with the precision fermentation technology, that are also coming online, so I will be getting into more of that in my other videos coming up. But really just want to celebrate this as a milestone, because again, I first heard about this 15 years ago, and I just thought it was a science experiment. A year ago, I started looking into it again, and it's just amazing that it's now going to be actually on sale in restaurants and eventually supermarkets to everyday consumers. I'm putting my Novel Foods tasting map. You can check that out for the actual locations for where you would be able to buy these products. And if you want to be the first to try Upside Foods, they have a social media contest running right now, so you can go to their Instagram and check that out to be one of the first people in the US to try their cultivated meat.
Getting USDA approval now opens up the pathway for us to sell cultivated meat here in the biggest market in the world, in a place that's one of the biggest meat producers in the world, and I think lends a lot of credibility towards what this is going to be in the future. So it'll be a momentous, historic moment for the food industry. So often anything that's new, whether it's an electric car or it's ChatGPT, it feels strange, a little peculiar initially, but after a period of time, it becomes ubiquitous and boring, and that's eventually the path for cultivated meat.
So cultivated meat, put really simply, is real meat that is grown from animal cells. So if you imagine the meat that we have loved and eaten for tens of thousands of years, the meat that we cultivate is actually biologically the same, but it's made in a whole new way. So after 7 to 14 days or a little longer, depending on what we're making, we harvest the cells, and then we can make it into any meat product that you love. So our first product will be chicken fillets, but we are working on an entire portfolio, first of chicken, and then following that will be beef and other species as well. But then absolutely our goal in the mid to long term is to go into grocery stores and retail, and for consumers to be able to experience and buy Upside meat everywhere where they would be used to buying meat.
For some period of time, I would say it's at least 2 years, probably more than that, it'll be very small volumes. So think less than 5,000 pounds sold. And ultimately to get to a point where no matter who you are, if you're hearing this, it'll be in your local grocery store, in your local restaurant, we'll need to build much larger infrastructure.
We'll see you in the next video.